Hi everyone, my name is Erin Elizabeth Warenberg. Thank you so much for choosing to be here with me today. Welcome back if you've been here before, and welcome if you are new here. Today we have a new moon in Cancer. So for today's tarot pick a card reading, I will be reading the cards in that way. So just focusing on new energy, things you want to have come into your life, things you want to move forward with this new moon in Crybaby Cancer. Lovingly love all my Cancers out there. If you're a Cancer, I love you. Okay, we need your emotional sensitivity. It's a wonderful gift to us. Okay. But we lovingly call you Crybaby Cancer. Okay. But so if you're feeling emotional, if you're feeling sensitive, that is very much Cancer energy. We've been in Cancer season for a little bit. So today's new moon will be, or the tarot I'll read for this new moon is very focused on new energy. How can we reframe things in like some new moon energetic way? Okay, I have 3 groups for you. You can go ahead and pick by the card you can see, by the number, by the sound of my voice, group 1, 2, or 3. Trust whatever feels right for you. And when you're ready, all the timestamps are below, and I'll see you at the reading that you chose. Hi, everyone. Welcome. This is for everyone who picked group number 1. So as a reminder, this is a new moon reading, so I'll be reading the cards in that way. But you all pick the card, Our Lady of Holy Fire. So this is a really beautiful card. This whole deck is really one of my faves, but as you can see, her heart is on fire. So, okay, so this is, to me, this card is really, I'm getting 2 messages with this for you all in group 1. So the first thing is, we go through purification processes in life, and part of that can be, things having to be left in the fire and we move on past them, right? There are things that get burned away when we move into these next layer of our lives. It's similar to like the dark night of the soul concept, right? But there's things that get burned away in our purification process because we know, well, we don't know, but we have faith that things will be better for us if we can let those things go and make room for things that actually can serve us. And so this card, I think the first one is, just trusting if you're going through a phase where maybe, feels like things are getting taken away from you, or, this holy fire is really burning and it doesn't feel like you have any solid grounding or any solid footing or anything like that. This card is really just an assurance that, anything that gets taken away during the purification process, that gets burned, that gets alchemized, it is worth it. It is for your highest good. It is anything that gets taken away from you is something that you didn't actually need, and just really honoring that. And then we have also the other message I'm getting with this is like the holy fire of, like having passion and connected to something like that, just that fire energy that keeps you motivated and keeps you going long term, more than just like, more than just like, oh, these superficial reasons why you want to do something. So this is really a reminder that if you don't know why you're doing something, why you feel motivated, why you, whatever, right? Finding that passion, it could be your connection to your higher power, it could be whatever, but you need to really reevaluate why you're doing something. And it can't be, again, something superficial or something, whatever, because once you get that, it's never going to be enough and you have to open your energy to the next thing instead. So Our Lady of Holy Fire is just reminding us that, trust whatever's leaving, what's being burned away. So with this new moon, if you want to think about it, like what can I let go of with more ease and with grace, and what can I have faith that is being removed from my life for a reason? And then, how can I reignite my passion? How can I remember what I'm connected to? How can I get clear about this is the thing that works for me and this doesn't? Okay, so I'm going to look at your tarot, and then we'll look at your oracle cards. So we have the moon, then we have the 4 of Cups, then we have Queen of Swords, then we have the High Priestess, right into the Hierophant, and into the 3 of Cups. Okay, so yeah, I feel like, this might be a time for reflection for you guys in group 1. The moon is really about energy. The moon and the High Priestess both. This is really interesting. They're both here. They're both about like the subconscious or things going on like in the unseen realm. So the moon is more like, these things that are secrets that are hidden, not in like a, oh no, I'm scared to find out a secret, but we can't see the full picture of things that are going on for us sometimes. So that's what the moon can allude to. And then the High Priestess is like the other side. So the unseen realms, ways we're connected with all that. So I feel like if you're in this place of like stagnant energy, or you feel like nothing's happening, or you can't just like catch a break, or like you're just stuck, this is a reminder that there are things happening that we don't know about. There's so many things going on at once that we're not sure of. There's so many things aligning and coming into place and energy moving and all of that. So these 2 cards are really just reminding you, group one, that like you don't have to take things as personally. And, if you want something new, a lot of times things have to fall apart or rearrange or change for something new to come into your life. So I think, with this moon, that really what we're really seeing here with this is, just having faith in that, letting go, stop trying to control everything, stop trying to be like, well, why is this happening? Why is that happening? Sometimes we can only see, okay, right here, I'm on step 3 right now, for example, and I don't know why it's happening. But if we knew step 10, we'd be like, oh yeah, okay, that's why this is happening. So all this stuff can eventually connect and come together. So this is a reminder that, again, we're not in control, God is in control, and part of the human experience is we don't see why everything happens. We just have to have faith that is happening for our higher good, which is always easier said than done, but what can you do? It is what it is. Because then we have this 4 of Cups right into the Queen of Swords. So I feel like with this 4 of Cups energy, this is about like unwillingness to receive, kind of like closed down. So this is kind of like, like a bratty little kid, which no judgment, I've been there. I act like that too sometimes. Okay. So, but this card is really about, what are you not receiving? What are you feeling like, well, I can't have this because this isn't going my way, or I can't have this because of this particular thing. And then with this right into the Queen of Swords, this is really powerful boundary energy. This is what I'm not putting up with. This is what I'm not dealing with. So I feel like this is really saying, okay, let's grow up. Let's put on our big person pants now. And let's be like, okay, throw your temper tantrum for sure, like honor those feelings, but then what can you do about it to move past it? So if you've been feeling really stagnant and really stuck, group one, I think with this new moon, it could be some time for you to bring in some more light energy and some more like, okay, do I feel like I'm being punished? Does God punish us? No. God helps us get through the difficult circumstances in life that exist. And so if I really believe that, what boundaries do I need to set, like within your own mind, right? What boundaries do I need to set around how I'm thinking about this, about how it could be working out for me, about, just reframing that story. So if you have been, shutting yourself down in terms of like, well, I'm not receiving this particular thing I want, so I don't want to be open to anything. This is just a reminder, don't block your blessings. Don't kick away your blessings just because one particular area of your life could be a huge area of your life. Okay, I'm not going to minimize that, but just because that's not going how you want it to be, or the time you want it to be, or the unfolding you want it to be, don't kick, away all these blessings. Have the boundary to be like, okay, I can't control this. I've been doing my part, but there's all this other wonderful good stuff in my life over here. So I am going to focus on that. Because again, we have this High Priestess energy, like this is, okay, I just got a million things at once. So that's why I couldn't talk for a second. But this is energy around like connecting to your own intuition. And, you can say a simple prayer like, God, show me what to do. Show me how to be of service. Show me how to, show me where to go, what to say, how to interact, so you can do that. So this is, sometimes we can get really focused on, okay, this thing isn't happening in physical reality the way I want. But this High Priestess energy is like, well, you still have intuition. You still have a direct line to God. You can still open that up and be like, God, show me what to do. Show me what to say. Show me how to do just today. So I think this is, that can bring us some ease, because sometimes we give our power away because we're like, well, this one thing isn't happening, so what am I going to do, right? And again, going back to Our Lady of the Holy Fire here, this is a reminder that sometimes things burn away and fall away so something new can come in, which again is very annoying while you're in the middle of it, okay? But don't forget, you have your direct line to God through all of this, and you can even ask God to be like, please grant me patience, please grant show me how this is working out in my favor, show me how this could be an answered prayer, right? All that ego hates that, but it's very helpful. Okay. And then Hierophant, I love the Hierophant. It always reads to me in these individual readings. If you watched any of my other readings before, this energy to me is so much about like doing your base, it's the basic, okay, back to basics energy of like, what can I do to show up for myself? What can I do to, like do these smaller self-care things. So I'm like taking care of my energy in this way. And I think this being next to the High Priestess is about, doing it in a way that is lighthearted, or that is like, well, lighthearted too, but is connected to, these realms on the other side. So, definitely open up your prayer channel, definitely open up conversation with God, especially when things are confusing. That's when, it's a gift for us to be able to feel closer to God, because we have this time to wait, to be contemplative, to reflect. But the Hierophant, again, is also about basics. So Could be meditating, could be fasting, it could be going for a walk, it could be reading a holy book, it could be reading something else that feels good to you, right? But just taking a bath, it could be, and then the other end of the spectrum, right? Like doing a really hard workout, or, maybe you're someone who likes a little bit more intense energy to take care of yourself, which, you know what works for you. I don't know. But this is really, again, just go back to the basics with your self-care, go back to the basics with like, this is how I take care of myself. This is what I need to do to take care of myself, and not skipping over that, right? So maybe you need to make sure you're reading every day, you're doing a little EFT every day, you're doing a little whatever, but just know that like, you deserve like these consistent things we do every day. That's what keeps us spiritually fit. And that's what helps us get through these hard times. Those things, like spiritual tools, we need for sure when we're going through a hard time, but they shouldn't just be like responses. They need to be like a thing we're doing all the time to help maintain our energy, no matter what's going on. And then the last little piece of advice that we get for group one, just laughing because this is advice I need all the time. It's just lighten up. So it came out, I accidentally said lighten up, about a minute or two ago, but the message is very strong for you, group one. Okay. So lighten up, party. You see these girls are loving life over here. Don't take yourself so seriously, right? It can be so easy to be like, woe is me, this is the worst thing to ever happen, blah, blah, whatever. But if we can just be like, you know what, there are worse things in life, not to, spiritually bypass or minimize or whatever, but just, put some right size thinking on it and just be like, you know what, I can enjoy my life. I can find 5 minutes of peace a day. I can, one thing I love to do is just like YouTube videos of animals being hilarious and feel better, right? Okay, so there's so many things where we can just find small moments of joy and celebration, hang out with your friends, watch a funny show. I mean, just lighten up and offer some lightness and some, just don't take it so seriously. That's really what I'm getting. Big message for you guys as group one. And especially with this new moon, just be like, how can I add a little bit of lightness to my life? And again, not spiritually bypassing, not pretending these things aren't happening, not, we don't want to do any of that, but just remember that you can still enjoy your life while you're waiting for all these other things to happen, right? You don't want to get to the place where it's like, well, I can only smile and be thankful and have joy once this particular thing happens in my life, right? We don't want that. That's not actually good long term. You want to work on cultivating joy and peace and laughter, like in all areas of your life while these other things are unfolding for you. Okay, I'm going to look at your oracle cards now. Oh my God, I love when this happens. So the first one, well, I was going to start with that one. Okay, I'm going to start with this one. So the first one is, these kind of go together, so we'll talk about them both. So we have mystery and fate here. Okay, so this mystery, this is what I was talking about, very much stood out to me, and is reflected back in this. Here we have the moon and the high priestess and mystery. So again, we are, and part of the human experience is we are not given the full unfolded plan of everything. So this is like leaning into the mystery. This is trusting that like things are unfolding in ways that we don't know about. Things are unfolding in ways that are for our highest good, even if we don't know them. This is just having faith in the mystery of life. Okay, again, for any recovering controlaholics like me, I'm with you. I get it. It's not the most fun, wonderful thing we want to do. Okay, but this is definitely about, leaning into that mystery, letting yourself have faith in the unknown, knowing that if we knew, sometimes things aren't shown to us right away, or we don't know right away, because honestly, if we knew how things were going to unfold, we probably wouldn't move towards them, right? Like it would be like, oh, I don't want to deal with that. No, thank you. So just having faith in the mystery, remembering that it's not punishment. It's life, baby. We're all here doing it. And then fate. So this is again along the same line. So leaning into, so shiny, the mystery of fate here, and just remembering that like, the God is always at work. These divine timing, divine unfolding, these things are always working for us, like in ways that, again, it's part of the great mystery. And like I was saying in the beginning, if you're here, we can't see all the way what's over here. But if we have faith and trust that as long as we're doing our part, God will do for us what we can't do for ourselves. And that includes fate. And that includes things unfolding and coming together, and just, allowing things to be separate than, it has to be this way. It has to be this exact thing. So just trusting that fate is on your side. Things are working for you, and you don't have to, you can like loosen your grip a little bit, because then we have the card let go. So this is, again, I feel like, sometimes when you're in this waiting period, or you're in this like, well, nothing's going my way, so I don't want to do it. We can get really focused on, I'm going to hold on tighter and try and mash and manipulate this thing even more than what's already happening. But that doesn't do us any good, actually. Okay. It actually makes things worse. Things take longer. They get harder, right? Okay. So let go is about, where can you loosen your grip? Where can you set this boundary of like, it had to be this exact way and it's not, so now I'm mad, right? So where can you let go and kind of trust that, this process is for your highest good. This process is, unfolding the way it should. It's God's plan. It's not our plan. And just letting go and surrendering to God's will for yourself. And then we have now is the time. So I feel like, this beautiful key image on here, this is just reminding us that when you can do that, when, that's the key to some of this like lightening up energy, like just acceptance is the key to all of our problems, and like now is the time. It's the key to this letting go. It's this key to being present, to being able to connect to the now, being able to feel these things, and knowing that now is the time, again, is just a way for us to be present, to really, again, trust, like, don't be so focused on, well, I want to be over here, I want to move through this thing, I want to never, you wish your whole life away. Eventually you're going to run out of things to wish away. So just trying to be present, enjoy that a little bit. And then we have Archangel Uriel. Divine light shines from within. I am eternally radiant, loving, and wise. So again, sometimes when things don't go our way, or we have a circumstance that doesn't feel the best, sometimes we can feel like, oh, something's wrong with me. I'm doing something wrong, especially, oh my God, all this toxic, like, you manifest your reality, blah, blah, blah. What, like, you're not more powerful than God. We're not more powerful than God. Okay. So this is just a reminder that if things aren't going your way, or there's a reroute that feels really bad or really upsetting, just remember, I am eternally radiant, loving, and wise. That is a wonderful affirmation for you. And you don't need to internalize these outside circumstances to mean something about you. It's just, what you're going through right now. Okay. And then I'm going to pull one affirmation for you guys to close your reading. Group 1. My happiness is a direct reflection of my level of faith in the universe. So for me, I would say my level of faith in God, my higher power. Okay, use what language works for you. But yeah, it's like when you trust God, you don't need to worry. When you trust that these things are unfolding, it's like we don't need to worry as much, because we're like, oh yeah, this is fate, this is destiny, this is God taking care of me. It's just, we are so limited. Don't try to project our limited human mind on this unlimited being of power that God is. Okay, that's everything I have for you. Thank you so much for choosing to be here with me today. If you ever want any more information about me, all of that is linked below. Thank you so much, and I hope you have a wonderful day. Hi, everyone. Welcome. This is for everyone who picked group number 2. So as a reminder, this is a new moon reading, so I'll be reading the cards in that way in terms of new energy and all of that. Okay, so you all picked the card 27, Our Lady of Sacred Waters. I mean, I just look at this card and I feel calm. How beautiful. So this is just a reminder that this is really about resting energy. It's really about being in the flow. It's really about surrendering. It's really about like, cleansing, like washing ourselves clean, all of that. So group 2, if you are in need of a break, or if you've been feeling burned out, or you've been feeling, there's times in our lives where we are really motivated by, this fire, and I got to go get it, and I'm going to make it happen, and I'm going to da 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 da, right? But there's other times in our lives where it's a time for rest. It is a time to take a step back. It is a time to go inward and just kind of recharge and reflect and be at peace. And this card is really about that. Our Lady of Sacred Waters is really about, even just the hands of surrender here. We see in like even what she's wearing, it's kind of flowy like water. And we just have a lot of this energy of just like, we have to reset, and just thinking about the properties of water, of just like cooling, calming, relaxing, going inward, being refreshed, being reborn, all of that energy, instead of, just being like, I have to make this happen, and this and this and this, and all these things have to be going on at once, right? So just a reminder for anyone who picked group 2, this is a time to turn inward. This is a time to let yourself be cleansed, to let go, to just kind of flow with life, and not it's a more feminine energy time, regardless of your gender. Feminine energy is about being still and allowing, and not trying to make things happen. And so this can be a time where it's more turning inward and letting yourself just kind of be in the flow of things than like trying to make things happen. There are definitely times in our life where it is time for us to go and push and figure it out and do all that. But this is really, if you were drawn to this card, this is really energy about just giving yourself permission to kind of surrender and be still, and accept that. Okay, I'm going to look at your tarot and then we'll look at your oracle cards like usual. Okay, so we have 3 of Wands, 4 of Pentacles, Temperance, can't make this up, I love it, 9 of Swords, Page of Cups, and 8 of Cups. So yeah, I mean, this is really, so I pick my cards beforehand, but I don't cherry pick them if you're new to my channel. I mean, this card of just surrendering and being in the flow of everything, this is incredibly reflected in your reading. There's so much stillness energy. There's so much like, all 3 of these cards are about like, being still, taking a break, taking time to be contemplative, check in with yourself. We have all of that reflected here. So the first one is, this 3 of Wands. So I feel like sometimes we don't slow down, or we don't let ourselves be in the sacred waters of rest, or recharging, because we're uncomfortable, right? I want to move forward. I want to change this. I want to make it happen. I want to whatever. But this card is a reminder that, it's important for us to turn inward, to, allow these things to, we have to take stock. We have to take inventory. We have to, just take a moment to pause and reflect before we can move forward. It's like sometimes if we don't do that, then we can just get really reckless and just really like, I'm going to figure it out. I'm going to do this. I'm going to whatever, right? But this is really taking inventory and just saying, okay, where am I in life? Where do I want to go? What's working? What's not working? What feels good? What doesn't? I mean, I'm just feeling so much slow down energy, group 2, just slow down, slow down, slow down, slow down. And maybe you don't want to do this because you have a blocked heart chakra. Okay. That's very much for Pentacles energy. You see we have literally the coin over the heart chakra, and then just even like protecting, no, I need to watch this step over here, like don't come near me. So maybe you got burned and you need to like lick your wounds a little bit. You need to give yourself some nourishing healing energy. And so what does that look like for you? What would it mean to self-soothe? What do you need? Obviously most of us just can't fully tap out of life, but so if you still have to go to your job, you still have to show up for certain things, like, okay, of course we have to do that. But this is really about, what can I do? Like maybe I'm not going to do as many social things for this amount of time, or maybe I'm not going to overcommit to this other thing because I need some resting time. So what would it look like to nourish your heart, to give yourself some love and care and compassion, and just allow those things in your life? Because look at this. I love Temperance, one of my favorite cards, and just even look, the vibe check. Very, very similar. Okay. So just allowing, this is about nourishment, refilling your own cup, taking this water from the other realm, from this Mother Mary. If you're resonating with that card, just like pouring that back into yourself, refilling your cup, having this angelic presence of just like, how can I soothe myself? How can I offer myself some love and some care and some compassion? How can I show up in a really loving way to myself? That's very much written here. It's in the cards. And so, just what do I need? What would self-soothing look like? How can I feel seen and heard by myself? How can I feel taken care of? If you don't know where to start, self-soothing it's very much like taking care of a child. Like, am I eating right? Am I getting enough rest? Am I going on a walk? Am I playing? Am I, do I feel loved and cared for? Right. So a lot of these things can come, and you see in the background, there's like the dawn of a new day, or the sunset on the old, whatever resonates for you more. But the sky always changes, the sun always rises and sets, things are always moving, even if we don't feel like they are. And again, I feel like, so this was the energy I was getting before of maybe why don't you want to do this? Why don't you want to sit with it? So we have this 9 of Swords, Page of Cups to 8 of Cups. So I feel like, there might be moments of breakthrough, of little surprises, of like, okay, I'm moving forward and whatever, but it feels like a lot of overwhelm of this, just like a lot of nightmare energy of just being consumed by your thoughts, trapped in your mind. I don't want to look at this. I don't want to deal with this. I don't want to whatever. And then also some sadness, this 8 of Cups is like, being brave enough to walk away from something that's not serving you, respecting yourself and choosing yourself, even if things, seem appealing on paper. So again, this is about I'm feeling like, again, a lot of emotional overwhelm. And sometimes the only place we can go with those emotions is to God, to our higher power, to, Our Lady of Sacred Waters, to resetting with this, to checking in with Mother Mary, to allowing that kindness and grace to ourselves. And so, if you're feeling overwhelmed by all of that, just remember, this is still you, okay? You're still this Page of Cups in there. You're still this energy of like, you can create something new. You can have these little moments of being surprised by the grace of life, by little moments of peace, by something different happening, by whatever. Okay, so this is really about remembering you're not on your own. You can change. Something can happen that is different, and just working through something, processing something. It doesn't feel the best, but the only way out is through. And every moment that you do this is like giving yourself permission to keep going. If you're going through hell, keep going. That's what they say. And I think, what I'm really hearing with this too is giving yourself permission to feel all those feelings and do something with them, right? Don't spiritually bypass them. Don't be like, I wrote in my journal 10 times, so now I'm healed. Okay. That's not how healing works. It's like, you need to listen to your body. You need to check in with yourself. You need to trust that when you feel things, that's how they move and that's how you process them. And so just, I'm really feeling don't speak ill about yourself. Don't be mean to yourself. Just give yourself love and compassion. Know you're doing your best. Get the help and support you need for sure. And while you're doing that, like, you don't have to be mean to yourself while you're on this journey of healing and changing and growing and all that. You can give yourself permission to be loving and kind towards yourself through all these things. And it's okay if you are trapped in your mind. It's okay if you feel sad. That's part of, again, being human. We don't get to bypass this shit. We don't get to pretend like, I don't feel the best, I don't whatever, okay? This is really about feeling the full range of emotions, and that is what heals us. And it's so brave to do that, and it's so brave to turn inward and be like, I am willing to look at these things. I'm willing to give myself permission to feel these things, and I'm willing to give myself permission to like move on to the next thing. So I think with this new moon, especially because it's in Cancer, so I just love the water imagery because Cancer is a water sign, like there's this energy of just really washing yourself clean and just really giving yourself permission to tap into that, to release it, to move through it, to, all of that energy. Just really feel your emotions. If there is a new moon to feel any emotions, it is definitely crybaby Cancer. Okay. So with the new moon, you can even think about like, how have I not been giving myself permission to feel my emotions? How can I give myself permission in a new way? And it doesn't have to be like, this is an emotion I'm feeling. It could be dancing to release it. It could be going for a run. It could be doing a workout. It could be, doing EFT tapping. It could be, anything that feels like a release for you. Just really honoring that within yourself. And, swimming, there's a lot of water stuff in this reading, but even if it's not swimming, just even drinking more water, always good for everyone. Okay. No matter where you're at. But again, letting yourself be surprised by these changes, by things that can happen, by, a new start. And there is goodness on the other side of all this, no matter how bad and overwhelming it might feel right now. Well, I feel it in my heart for you guys, group 2. Hang in there. Okay. I'm gonna look at your oracle cards. So we have Strength. So I just want to say right away, even if this process is like this and it feels so bad and it feels like, oh my God, I'm never going to get through this, I'm not strong enough, whatever, this is just a reminder that you can, and done is better than perfect. Done is better than not feeling like, oh, how did I do this? How did whatever, right? Doing it. Don't interrupt the fact that you're doing it with like, oh, am I doing this? Right? Don't interrupt yourself by being like, do I have the strength to do this? When like, if you're working on it and you're focused on it and you're willing to look at it, you're willing to do this, no matter how messy, like overwhelming, not good feeling it is, right? Just trusting yourself and trusting like, okay, if I have, you're showing up, you're making changes, you're doing something different. If you are doing that, then this is a reminder that you do have the strength and things are happening and things are being different. And that's what strength is about. It's about doing it. It's not feeling like, oh, that was easy, no problem, right? Strength is when it doesn't feel the best, when it doesn't feel easy, when it doesn't feel like a walk in the park, right? Strength is when you rely on your inner strength and you rely on God to make you feel strong, to go through something. It just means that you're doing it. It doesn't mean that it feels like nothing, or it feels like, oh yeah, that was easy. There's so many things that I've done that I didn't know I had the strength to do until I was forced to do them, which, hello, welcome to being a human, right? So just remembering, if God has taken you to it, God can give you the strength and the will and the grace to get through it. So just remember, you do have the strength to do this. Okay, I promise. Because we have the Weaver. So this is similar to like, it's like the magician energy in the tarot. This is really about, you see that we have the hands here of like, you have a say in what you're creating. We have the swords, which is about boundaries, so I think, you have the ability to say yes to certain things, say no to certain things. So what I was talking about earlier, where if you need to take a break, if you need to turn inward, if you need to give yourself just a little bit of leeway, a little bit of freedom, a little bit of not pushing yourself so much, you have more power in the situation of, you don't have power over, how fast the healing goes or how it feels or whatever, but you have power over, again, how you talk to yourself through this process, how accepting and kind and graceful you are with yourself through this process, right? So don't forget the things you do have control over, just because you're going through, some of these things that don't feel the best. So again, the Weaver, you have a choice, you have the ability, you have the way you think about yourself, the way you show up for yourself. All of that is very much just a reminder here that is possible for you. Because then we have illuminate the darkness. So again, I feel like I'm getting two messages with this. The first is just what I was talking about of like, how can I highlight my power again? How can I show myself that I do have a say, that I can say yes to this thing or no to that thing or whatever, right? It doesn't have to be, it doesn't have to be the end all be all of like, oh no, I have no power over anything. I have whatever. What happens a lot of times is we focus on the things we don't have control over when we should be focusing on the things that we do have control over. So this card is just a reminder to reshift your focus and, relook at, where am I giving my power away and where can I focus more on what do I have control over, again, how I'm talking to myself, how I'm thinking about myself, the story I'm telling about the situation, and then the other message I'm getting with this was, I lost it. Oh no, I got it. Okay, so this is about just remembering again, like this isn't punishment, right? Going through this hard time, giving yourself permission to feel, to grieve, to mourn, to move through it, to whatever. This is a reminder, like you can take this time to build a more loving, kind relationship with yourself. You can take this time to have a more loving, kind relationship with God, right? So illuminate the darkness. So things, it's a gift in the black box. And again, we're not saying we condone it, we like it, whatever. But when you accept this is what's going on, and I am in a place in my life where I do need to like go inward and refresh and all of that, how can I, see this as just a time to be more kind to myself. And then we have the guardian angel of health. My attitudes about myself are rich in love and acceptance. It's amazing. So I pick my cards beforehand, but I don't cherry pick them. So I just love when this happens. It's just what I was talking about of like, you can like, part of offering yourself loving kindness isn't just like taking the bath and easing up on yourself, whatever, it's how you talk to yourself. So my attitudes about myself are rich in love and acceptance. I mean, how beautiful is that? How beautiful. So just remember, like, I accept myself. I know I'm doing my best. I know I can get through this. I'm proud of myself. I love myself. It's safe for me to trust myself. It's safe for me to stay with myself. I don't have to abandon myself, right? Just really, you don't have to say one negative thing about yourself again if you don't want to. And again, this card, I love, it's called the guardian angel of health, because that's part of a healthy relationship with yourself, is allowing those things and being honest with them. Okay, and then not the right time. So I feel like, again, this is, really reflecting this thing of this energy of going inward, of taking a break, of relaxing, of, it's not the right time to move forward. Maybe you have an idea of where you want to go or what you want to have happen or what your dreams are. That's great. But this is really saying, now this is more of a time for healing, for nourishment, for turning inward, for being kind to yourself. Don't force something before the divine timing, will help it unfold for you. Okay, I'm going to pick one affirmation card for you guys, group 2, and that will be the end of your reading. Thank you so much for being here. This was a I wish I could give you a hug, group 2. This is a kind of intense reading. So, if you're going through hell, keep going. This can't be darkness forever. The sun always rises. Just one day at a time. You're going to get through it. Okay. When I focus on my inner light, I see the world through the lens of love. So again, sometimes it's hard for us to see, we're not going to pretend like a situation is good when it's not, but when you're kinder to yourself, it's easier for you to accept yourself, to, again, give yourself this loving, nourishing care and see the ways that that's trying to come to you as well. So I think a big theme for you, group 2, is just, focus on the inner light, give yourself some kindness, some love, like don't speak ill will against yourself, right? So when I focus on my inner light, I see the world through the lens of love. Very beautiful. Okay, that's everything I have for you. Thank you so much for choosing to be here with me today. If you ever want any more information about me, all of that is linked below. Thank you so much, and I hope you have a wonderful day. Hi, everyone. Welcome. This is for everyone who picked group number 3. So as a reminder, this is a new moon reading. So I will be reading the cards in that way and kind of focusing on like new energy you want to come into your life. So you all picked the card, Our Lady of Passion. Beautiful, beautiful. So I feel like you're in a place where you are like, this is my passion. This is what I want to do. I want to get the ball rolling. I'm ready to move. I'm ready to, here we go, here we go, here we go. Like, here's my passion. It can't come fast enough. I'm ready to go. Or maybe you feel really disconnected from your passion. Maybe you feel like, well, I wanted to do this one particular thing, but it's just not happening for me. So am I wrong? Do I not know what my passion is? Do I not know what's going on? Right? So Our Lady of Passion is really just a reminder that, God places our desires in our hearts for a reason. God gives us the gifts that we have for a reason. God gives us what we're drawn to for a reason. And so if you're feeling disconnected, if you're feeling like, I don't know what my passion is, I don't know what's going on, I don't whatever, this is a reminder that that's okay. Like this is just part of life. And you can always ask God, you can ask your angels, you can ask Mother Mary, you can ask, whoever, whatever resonates for you, to just be like, please show me what to do. Please show me where to do it. Please show me what to say. Please show me where to go. Right. And passion doesn't just mean about job. It can, of course, but passion is also about the way we live, the way we breathe, the way we show up, the way we exist on this plane and in this realm, and how we embody certain energy. So if you've been putting all your eggs in a basket around like, okay, well, I have to do this particular thing and then I'll be living my passion. This card might also be saying like, well, how else can you live your passion? Let's say that thing never happens, not say it won't, but let's say this thing doesn't happen. How can you give yourself passion? How can you give yourself permission? How can you give yourself, space for these things to happen? And let you see the hearts like glowing, just like give yourself permission to let your heart be on fire, right? Could just be like, well, I want this one particular job, but it's not happening. But so how can I embody some of those characteristics in my everyday life and my interactions with people? How can I volunteer somewhere? Can I, I don't know, do a creative expression, right? Take it how it resonates. But this is a reminder that, you do have that passion inside you for a reason, and you do have, the way to be a channel for a reason, and you can pray to be shown how you can better use that and better serve, in the world in this way. So again, trusting that for yourself, and just reconnecting with that passion instead of, or maybe you again know what your passion is. It's a sign to take one day at a time. Your passion is not going to go away. So just, you don't have to have it all figured out immediately overnight with everything. Give yourself grace to let things unfold, for God to have God's hand in it, for you to, it doesn't have to be, this is what I'm doing immediately, that's it, whatever. Okay, I'm going to look at your tarot, then we'll look at your oracle cards. So we have the Queen of Pentacles. We have the Ace of Pentacles. We have the Ace of Wands. Then we have the Ten of Swords. Then we have Ace of Cups in reverse. And then the Magician. Okay, so I feel like this Queen of Pentacles, a lot of same vibes of Our Lady of Passion, even looks similar, similar imagery on both these cards. So I feel like what I'm really getting, if you feel lost, maybe feel lost not on what your passion is, but how to carry it out or how to make it happen. Because this card to me, Queen of Pentacles, is really symbolizing like she's holding her passion, right? She's holding, oh my God, this is my baby. This is my idea. This is what I want to have happen. This is how I want to make it work. So this is just a reminder that, you do have the ability to do that, and you are able to trust that, again, the passion that's placed in your heart is placed there for a reason, and you are able to be like, okay, this is what I want. This is what I want to have happen. This is how I want to whatever. So really listening to that and really trusting that, and not like trying to like, don't downplay your passion. Okay. But also we want to find this, I'm hearing for your group 3, like finding the middle ground. Like, this is my passion. This is what I want to do. This is my long-term vision. Great. And then we need to get to the middle ground of like, okay, what's my practical everyday way to make this happen? So maybe you're like just getting the nestling or just getting the kindling of like, this is what I want to do. This is okay. I'm really feeling it now. I'm really feeling this is the place I want to go. If that's true for you, then really, honoring that, because we have the Ace of Pentacles and Ace of Wands. So I feel like this is exactly what I'm talking about. This is like new seed, new idea, new energy, fresh baby energy. And then the Pentacle suit is about grounded energy. It's about practicality. It's like, okay, this is what I want to do. This is how I'm going to do it. This is whatever. And then the Wand suit, this is about fiery passion. And so this is like, this is the how, and this is the why, right? So this is, I'm going to do it this way. I'm going to work in this exact place. I'm going to offer this exact skill set. This is my passion. And then this is, I want to do this because blah, 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 blah. Okay. So I feel like a lot of things are really coming together for you, group 3, of like, this is how I want to be of service to the world. This is how I want to, this is my purpose. This is my passion. This is what feels good to me. But again, you see, there's this balance with these 2 cards. Okay. There's this balance of like you can't just go, 100% full steam. This is what I'm doing. No thoughts, no questions, right? You have to have this practical plan. And then you also can't be so practical that you don't feel any excitement, or this is what I'm going to do and I'm never going to get burned out and whatever. Okay. So these 2 working together is just a reminder that these things do need to work in conjunction with each other to be able to have these things happen. Because if you don't do that, what I'm seeing here is we have the 10 of Swords into the Ace of Cups in reverse. So 10 of Swords, obviously, this is the burnout card. Okay, this is fine. I'm at my wit's end. I'm whatever. So if you don't go in this, like the middle path, this balanced, what's my plan and what's my passion, right? The practicality and the feeling part of it, you want to merge those. This is where you can get to, which is just like a lot of burnout, a lot of stress, a lot of like, too much passion will lead to this, too much like, again, going 0 to 100, trying to make everything happen at once, trying to make everything whatever, right? This is that energy of just like, I thought I could do it, but I could not. Okay, this is like, you want to let go of that energy. And then Ace of Cups in the upright is about overflow, all this good feeling, all this whatever. But in the reverse, this is really about, you don't feel excited anymore. You empty your own cup, again, similar to burnout energy, but more on like the emotional level of just like, wow, I don't have anything left in me to keep caring about this. I don't want to do this anymore. It doesn't feel good to me. It doesn't feel practical to me. It doesn't feel like whatever. So all of this is really just about, finding that balance and going the middle route and just having faith in how it unfolds, the way it unfolds, and not, it's good to feel this passion. It's good to be motivated of the service we want to offer, but we can't skip steps and we can't go like 0 to 100 overnight, right? Even the overnight where our dreams come to fruition, that has like how many nights behind it of things adding up to that and building up to that, right? So this is a reminder to don't push too hard. This will happen. Slow and steady wins the race. Do what you can do and just move forward with those things instead of being like, I have to make it all happen immediately or else. Okay. And then closing your reading, we have the beautiful Magician. So I feel like this is, again, doing your part, but not forcing it sooner than it's meant to be, and also not like giving away your power to what you can do. And because it has all the 4 suits of the tarot on it, this is about like also letting things come together in their own time, about letting like all the elements come together, all the facets, all the pieces. And so there's so many things that we're like, okay, it has to be this way, and I'm going to do it in this exact thing, and it's going to unfold like this. But it's like, that's actually God's business, not yours. It's like, I'm focusing on these things and what I can control, and they'll unfold from there. And this is, again, just a reminder that like, you control what you can control, and you embody that energy within yourself, and then give the rest to God. Don't try to force everything, right? It's not your time. It's God's time. It's God's unfolding. It's God's exact whatever. So you do have some power, but again, finding that middle ground, that middle balance of like, okay, this is my idea. This is here's my passion project. And then this is like, okay, and what can I actually control? What can I not control? And finding the balance with those two things. Okay, I'm gonna look at your oracle cards now. Oh my God, this is so nice. Okay, so we have the guardian angel of service. I offer the best of my talents and goodwill, making my place in the universe a better one. So again, I feel like even this passion could be like, it doesn't even have to be like a job or whatever. It could just be, how am I showing up, how we show up in our everyday interactions, how we treat people in our day-to-day life. That is part of service. And a lot of service, helpful, actual service in life is like these not one and done, heroic, glamorous, look what I did for all these people type of thing. That's actually just ego service. True service is like, am I humble enough to be patient with people? Am I humble enough to be kind? Am I humble enough to like do something for someone who can't pay me back? And so this is, I offer the best of my talents and goodwill. Wonderful word on here. Making my place in the universe a better one. So again, who can you show up for today with some kindness, with some patience, with some care? And who can you, again, allow these things to, like, it doesn't have to be, I know we're talking about passion, and a lot of people think like, oh, this is my passion project, this is my job, this is what I'm meant here to do. But it doesn't have to be, it can just be on the one-to-one individual level. It could be a passion project that just, you build, there's a bird on this card, so you build like a birdhouse for the birds in your neighborhood and they love it. That's something you can do. It doesn't have to be this big giant scale of like, I saved everyone in the world. If we all do our part, that's what adds up. So just again, thinking, like guardian angel service, and just, how can I be of service? What can I do? What are these small ways that can add up, that I can make a difference in my own life? So many of us have stories, I'm sure, of when people were kind to us when we weren't expecting it, and how that changed our lives, and all of that. So we do have the card tribulation. So I feel like this is, again, just, to me, it's really saying like, everyone goes through so many things in life. So can you just like not add to that, right? Can you not add to more hardship? Can you not add to this more crazy, insane, we're all doomed energy, right? There are tribulations we all have to go through, and some things we don't have a choice with, but how can you not put that in there, or add to it? And then what I'm also saying with this part is, if you go through some tribulations and some hardships as you get this thing going, keep going. We don't get everything right away. We have to find our footing. We have to figure things out. That's really important. And then we have the pillar. So this to me is really similar energy of like, the process getting started. So with these two things, so this can kind of be like the in-between phase, or like, I'm just kind of figuring it out. I'm just kind of like doing these things. So the pillar is about, can I get to the other side? Can I like, if I'm here, how do I, like, it's kind of like the void energy too, of like, here's where I'm going. How do I move through it? How do I get there? Like, just keeping on the path and knowing you're going to walk through the pillars, you're going to get to the other side, you will be taken care of, right? So this energy is very much about like embodying that, and not, don't dismiss the steps you have to take. Just trust that pillar energy is there for a reason. We have magic is in the air. Amazing. So the magician. Okay, so just trust that, again, like, our intuition is a gift from God, and our intuition is magical, and our intuition is like, what I was saying in the beginning, these passion, these things we're drawn to, these things that feel resonant and good for us, and things we care about, those are put there by God on purpose, so we can all do our part, and we can all be part of like the greater good with things. So magic is in the air is just trust that. Trust the things that feel resonant for you. Trust the things that feel good for you. Trust things that, like, again, that you feel guided to and actually feel resonant to you and to your heart, and not to like my ego, like, oh, look at this thing I did, I'm the best ever, right? So magic is in the air is like kind of letting those things unfold, and then letting yourself be surprised by the process that unfolds from doing that. That's also important. And then this card just says no exclamation point. So I feel like this is what I'm getting from this card is just get really clear about what your passion is. You're like, maybe it's this, maybe it's that, maybe it's that. Okay, it could just be that you want it to be those things because you're waiting, or you don't know how, or you're afraid of what the thing you're actually supposed to do is. So this is a very firm, quit effing around. Don't lie to yourself. You know what your passion is. You know what you're here to do. Even if you just know one tiny little baby step you can take today, that's what you want to focus on. Don't get distracted. Don't do all this other stuff. Don't, like, no, stop, come back. come back here to your passion, come back here to the step you know you can take, to the things that are for you, to all of that. Okay, so it's no energy. I just, and it's no exclamation point, it's not just no. Okay, it's no exclamation point. So, you know, and even just this beautiful imagery of like, don't hide from your purpose, don't hide from that divine connection, don't hide from, again, like this beautiful passion energy that's in our heart, and that is like placed there on purpose and connecting to that. So don't run away, don't hide, don't pretend like you don't know what you need to do. You know, it could be like that whisper of a voice of like, well, I thought I was going to do that, but I don't know how it would work out, or I thought I could do this thing, but I don't know what it's going to be. Like, no excuses. Trust what's in your heart. Let's go, baby. One foot in front of the other. You can do it. Just start one step at a time. Those things are going to add up. The pieces are going to connect. You know, there is magic in the air. There's this magician energy. You are able to make things happen, even if you have no idea how, or it doesn't seem like it right away. Okay, I'm going to close with one affirmation card for you guys. Energy flows where my intention goes. Very beautiful. Okay, so this is what I was talking about before, of like, you don't have to know step 1 to 100. You just have to know step 1, and then how I go from step 1 to step 2. And then steps 2 to 98 can be things you don't even know exist right now. Okay, so, but energy flows where my intention goes. So it could just be, you know, God, show me what to do. God, show me how to make this happen. God, guide me to the next right thing, right? There's so many things. Once we start taking action, we see how they build up and snowball and figure out and work together and do all of that. And so this, I'm just hearing, just start, and things will come together in ways that you can't imagine. God will do for you what you cannot do for yourself. And energy flows where my intention goes. So just start, trust yourself, trust the process, trust this passion that's in your heart, and that is like guiding you to do each thing. Don't get driven by, well, I want to do this so I have 8 million followers, or I want to do this so I make this much money, or so I do that. And like, again, okay, we have to be alive. We need to make money for sure. But look at your intentions with it. Look at, you know, what am I doing with this? And so just, if you keep your intentions pure and you ask these questions and you say like a genuine prayer of like, God, help me be of service. Please show me what to do. Please show me where to go. Please show me how to whatever, right? That's when things, we can get guided to the next thing with that. Okay, that's everything I have for you. Thank you so much for choosing to be here with me today. If you ever want any more information about me, all of that is linked below. Thank you so much. Happy new moon, and I hope you have a wonderful day.